Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I am your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I got my buddies Rich and Rygal with me tonight. We're going to go over some Raw and Smackdown. What's going on, fellas?
Nothing much. What's going on, Mike? And
nothing much.
Rich.
How you doing, guys?
Trying to
Chilling,
stay
man.
Cool.
Yeah, man. It's hot as balls out there.
I've dropped at least 10 pounds today. I promise you that.
Oh, you and I both, bro. I really thought I was going to melt out there catching Pokemans.
Shit.
I told him, I said, no wonder you're so goddamn skinny.
Yeah. I'm on the Rygal diet right now.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Alright, so we're going to briefly go through a couple high points of Raw because, honestly, it wasn't that exciting.
No,
well,
it was...
Yeah. More to come in the future.
Yeah. I just wanted to quickly go over who were the GMs that they announced on Raw, with Foley running Raw, which I was actually really surprised happened.
Yeah, Swerve coming later. Don't worry.
Yeah, and Daniel Bryan running SmackDown.
Well, I'd just like to say that I called that way before any news broke on when they spoiled the news. I said Daniel Bryan's going to be the GM of SmackDown. I just had a feeling. So it's a good look so far, but like I said, I think Foley's there for now, and then later on Stephanie and him will have some kind of conflict, which then brings back our pal with his shovel, Triple H.
That's who I thought was going to be the GM, was Trips.
Yeah. He'll be back.
I'm actually glad that they didn't go down that route, because then nothing would have changed. It would have been the Authority all over again. At least Foley is interesting, but do you think Foley's going to turn heel at some point?
That would be interesting.
I thought at one point he was going to punch out Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, right? There were a couple moments where
I
was like, is he going to just turn?
I thought that they were going to wait till at the end there and they all be standing in the ring, and then Foley just loses his fucking mind and just beats the shit out of Daniel Bryan.
Jack style.
Yeah, Daniel Bryan and Shane.
I think eventually there's going to be something with his character change, because I can't see them both being tremendously faced. Like, 3 faces and 1 heel, with Stephanie being the only heel.
I know what you mean. It's not even.
Right.
It's just, I don't know what they're going to do.
They'll probably do something where Mick Foley will make like a ruling that she doesn't like, and she'll override it, and then that'll plant the seeds for the start of either Triple H coming back or her hiring like an even bigger douche, which I don't know where you could find one, to run Raw as the GM.
I would like to see, like Rygal's talking about, have Foley go heel and maybe make him be like corporate Foley.
Yeah, but the thing is that, well, you know what? Never mind. I was gonna say that happened years ago, but we don't remember that. Never mind.
I was gonna say that happened in like '98.
Yeah, the Men in Black just knocked on my door and told me to forget about that, so never mind.
a lot of the fans, though, don't remember that.
Yep, just like me, I just forgot it.
Yeah, they blinded you.
Yep.
The only other thing I wanted to go over about Raw, really, was the main event with Rollins and Ambrose.
Remember that horrible, wonky-ass finish? Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
I think it was designed to get people to tune in tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Right. That's what I knew something screwy would happen, where either that match would happen again on SmackDown, or some ridiculous version of it, like them teaming up with people that have nothing to do with anything.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. So I thought we'd get like an 8-man tag of like Ambrose, Cena, and Enzo and Cass versus the Club and Rollins or something. But I knew some screwy would happen where Rollins and Ambrose would end up fighting again on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Of all things, a double fucking pin.
Yeah.
I hate double pins.
Yep, an idea that they stole from NXT.
Basically.
When remember when Samoa Joe fought Sami Zayn when they were trying to determine who's the number one contender?
Yes.
That was the finish of their first match.
You're right.
Well, I mean, they've done double. I mean, like, I guess that's the only way you can get a clean no finish.
Right.
Is, if you have somebody, somebody interfere, somebody gets disqualified. Like, that's the only way to basically have 2 winners and 2 losers. But I don't know. I figured something like that was going to happen. I actually didn't watch it because I was just going to watch it in the morning. And when I woke up, it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. So.
Right. Alright, on to SmackDown. I am going to read you guys, because I have them right in front of me, the complete rosters as of this moment for Raw and SmackDown.
You're going to go through all of them?
Yeah, I got all the names right here.
Okay.
And we'll just kind of, me and you talked about this, Rygal, who we thought was the better roster, but, just for the sake of argument, do it again. On Raw, they have Seth, Charlotte, Finn Balor, Reigns, Lesnar, all 3 New Day, Sami Zayn, Sasha, Jericho, Rusev, Kevin Owens, Enzo and Cass, Gallows and Anderson, Big Show, Nia Jax, Neville, Cesaro, Sheamus, Golden Truth, Titus, Paige, Darren Young, Sin Cara, Swagger, the Dudleys, Summer Rae, Mark Henry, Braun Strowman, Bo Dallas, the Shining Stars, who will never see television.
Never.
Alicia Fox, Dana Brooke, Curtis Axel. Now SmackDown has Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles, Cena, Orton, Wyatt, Becky Lynch, Miz, Corbin, American Alpha, Ziggler, Natalya, Del Rio, the Usos, Kane, Kalisto, Naomi, The Ascension, Zack Ryder, Apollo Crews, Alexa Bliss, Breeze Dongo, Eva Marie, the Vaudevillains, Eric Rowan, Mojo Rawley, and Carmella.
Alright, there's a couple of things I'd like to quickly point out. The fact that Apollo Crews went after Zack Ryder, The Ascension, Naomi, like, they don't see much of a future in him if that's the case. The fact that the guy that they were going to push as the super, tough guy, like the guy that they were going to have fight Lesnar, Braun Strowman, I believe is on the show by himself now.
Yeah, Strowman's by
And
himself.
you're right. Yep.
He's
The only one that they separated from the Wyatts.
Now, it has been pointed out that none of the injured ones have been drafted, such as Luke Harper.
Yeah.
I don't know what storyline they're going to do with Heath Slater.
I think they're going to use Heath Slater on Sunday for. This is just me that I had this thought a couple hours ago. I was like, I'm going to bring this up. I think Heath Slater will come out talking shit like, oh, I haven't been drafted. I challenge anybody to a match. And that's when we get our sneak peek at the Demon. I could be wrong. But they drafted Finn Balor mighty high for him not to at least show his face on Battleground.
Yeah, I was really surprised he went that high. It means that they really believe in him.
Unless you can look at it as Battleground is the last show that they're going to do with the combined rosters, so they may wait for the first Raw after everything to debut him. You know
then that'll be 2 months from now, because this isn't the last show. Because the next show is the rosters combined again, which is SummerSlam.
Yes, but it's the first time Raw is being run by itself with their rosters. It's like the new rosters start this Monday.
Right.
It'll be curious to see what they do.
Yeah.
So because then they're going to have a shared pay-per-view for November, for January, and for WrestleMania again. So they're going to have a bunch of shared pay-per-views. The big four.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at this as like the new season starts Monday.
Right. But I just got a feeling with him being taken so high, they'll do something. I could be wrong, like I said. I just have a feeling.
I had mentioned to Rygal earlier, I like SmackDown's roster better.
So do I.
Okay, you guys explain it to me, because outside of the part-timers all being on Raw, which I understand, I know that they got a lot of young talent over on SmackDown, but, well, just go ahead, explain it.
I was going to say, my big thing was they had a lot of guys that had room to grow now.
Right, because they got most of the NXT people.
Well, I mean, they also have people who kind of have a future. I mean, you have your mainstays. Lesnar, come on. New Day is a fad. It's not going to last forever, unfortunately. Jericho's on his way out. They're not doing shit with Sasha Banks. Big Show is Big Show.
Mark Henry, Strowman.
You got Balor, you have Seth, which both have great careers ahead of them. Charlotte, I really don't think is going to be around as long as everybody thinks. She's not great. She has her father's name. I mean, I don't think she's going to be anything big. I think Sasha's going to be bigger than her, but she's had kind of a roadblock with her. I don't see Rusev ever being anything big. Mm-hmm. I just think, okay, I don't know. I just happen to like the SmackDown roster more.
Now, answer me this, and tell me if you guys agree or disagree. Okay? They have basically every championship on Raw for the exception of the IC title, right? Why the fuck did they get the Cruiserweight division too?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Well, SmackDown has The Miz.
No, but I'm saying that's what I said, for the exception of Miz and the Intercontinental title. Every other title's on Raw, so why the fuck didn't they just give the Cruiserweight division to SmackDown?
Well, apparently the women's champion is going to go back and forth.
Is she? Well, she has to, because then it wouldn't make any sense of why you retired the Divas title. So...
Yeah, and why would you just draft women to SmackDown to be like, all right, let's fight for no reason?
Right. So... And then the great thing is Kalisto gets drafted to SmackDown while the Cruiserweights are on Raw.
Yeah, that was a head-scratcher to me, because they've been saying SmackDown is going to be the wrestling show. Right.
So, I believe that up until the second to last pick, by the way, which was Mojo Rawley. He had to get called up eventually, but...
I don't know. They could have released him.
My feeling is that if Zack Ryder does not win the U.S. title on Sunday, then they'll bring back the Hype Bro thing to feud with
somebody,
Breezango or the Vaudevillains.
Now, who do you think America Alpha is going to go after? How do you think they're going to debut them?
Well, I guess one of those two teams, I guess, or three if you had the Ascension, who were taken before the Dudleys, which makes no damn sense. But I think, or they'll just randomly put two guys together that they drafted that they don't even know why they drafted them and make them a team or something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes sense if you're going to have the tag team titles, the tag team champions, go between both shows, like the women's champion, because clearly you're not going to introduce a new set of tag team belts with only 5 teams on one show. So, Just my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's going to float also. But I don't think they actually thought this out, because I've heard rumors that they don't even want a second world title.
I've heard that too.
The champion is not going to be able to have any kind of cohesive. Like, if you got 2 pay-per-views a month, what, he's going to fight on one show 1 month and the other show the next month? I mean, like, how do you have 2 storylines, like 2 opponents at the same time?
Yeah, it's not possible.
Especially if, like, the pay-per-views are, like, 1 or 2 weeks apart. But you can have a whole storyline and then, like, oh, let's have a 2-week storyline.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Or they could build up one contender on SmackDown and another on Raw, and they face each other, and that guy who wins gets the title match.
But at what? I mean, like, you can only do that at the big 4 pay-per-views.
Right.
Without, you know, I mean,
yeah,
again, I'm just playing devil's advocate, adhering to the rules that they set. I mean, you're right.
No, but then again, it's not making what I just said doesn't make any sense because, for example, if John Cena from SmackDown beats Seth Rollins from Raw, and he gets a title match against Dean Ambrose, and then it's a Raw pay-per-view, you know what I mean? So it doesn't make any sense.
Oh no, they just got to wait a week, and then you get the SmackDown pay-per-view.
So
yeah, because they're going to be doing them every 2 weeks.
Basically, it's going to be too much wrestling. It really is.
I feel sorry for the UK fans and all those like hardcore fans in Europe having to stay up that late every 2 weeks.
Just with those 2 shows and the corresponding 2 pay-per-views, that's 26 hours a month of wrestling.
That's a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, because it's 12 for Raw, 8 for SmackDown, and then 6 for pay-per-views.
Like I said,
clear the DVR, folks.
Yeah, like I said, if you're doing a pay-per-view that's, for example, just say, because the normal's 3 hours. You're doing that Raw, SmackDown, NXT, in this Cruiserweight Challenge, you're looking at, or Classic, excuse me, you're looking at like 10 hours or more of wrestling that week.
Yeah, like we are right now. We got Battleground this Sunday. That's 4 hours if people actually bother to watch the pre-show, which they never announced the pre-show match, so therefore no reason to watch it. Then 3 hours of Raw the next day. That's 6. 2 hours of SmackDown Tuesday, 8. NXT, 9. Cruiserweight Classic, 10.
Yep.
So, whew.
And they did announce a pre-show match.
Is it Baron Corbin?
No.
I was about to say, is it Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler? Because I think that
the Usos against Breeze Dongo.
Apparently Vince is big on Breeze Dongo.
Yes.
All of a sudden.
Now, I don't know if you guys watched both episodes, but have you seen both of the CWC yet?
Yes.
I have not caught up to the one from this Wednesday, but I'm going to.
It was worth it.
Oh, it is. It's absolutely worth it.
Oh, I know for a fact it is. It's just been a crazy last couple of days.
The guy that worked with Tajiri...
Happy birthday to your wife, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I'll let her know.
I know it's belated, but happy birthday to her. I know. Yeah, hands were full yesterday.
Thank you. I'll let her know.
I was going to say, the guy that wrestled Tajiri, I really liked.
The guy from...
Australia.
Yeah. No, I like the guy from Pakistan who lost.
Oh, Mustafa Ali.
Mustafa Ali. Yo, he hit 2 moves that I've never seen before.
That was crazy.
I'm not going to spoil it, but holy shit, that springboard.
I liked, I can't think of the other guy's name that he wrestled. The German dude, Damac.
Yes. No, but that wasn't the same fight.
No, but I meant the guy that he fought was the other guy I really liked.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to remember. Oh, T.J. Perkins.
Yes.
He was Manic and Suicide in
TNA, yeah.
Well, he was the second Suicide who turned into Manic.
But if anyone's not watching that, you're missing out.
Yeah.
Give me the name of the guy from last week, from the opening match, who followed the guy from Chile, Alejandro Saez.
What, from the first week?
Yeah.
The Mexican guy. What was his name? Malik? Something like that?
Oh, yeah. Grand Malik or something.
Grand Metalik.
Grand Metalik.
Yeah.
He took a dump right all over Undertaker's Old School. Did you notice that he did the Old School without even having to hold nobody? I was watching that and I was like, if Undertaker ever does this shit again, which he probably never will, this guy just took a huge dump all over your move just right now.
The rumors are WWE signed him.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah,
well, they got to sign all those fucking guys because now they have a cruiserweight division. So,
yeah.
I look very forward to Jack Gallagher.
Yeah, isn't he this week?
I don't know when he's coming up, but I like his wrestling style. It's an old English gentleman wrestling style. I fucking love it. I mark out for that.
I think it's him and Gulak this week.
I don't like Drew Gulak.
Really?
I never got behind him. I don't dislike him. I never saw it.
How about the guy who lost to Ibushi, the Samoan guy?
Oh,
when they were showing
Reigns' cousins.
Right, when they were showing the video package of the family, they paused for a second between the Usos and Reigns. It was like, should we? Oh, fuck it, we'll just play it. Like trying to show the positive side.
All right, Lance said in the chat that he saw Gallagher wrestle live when he was in the UK.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I just like that old school gentleman gimmick. It's kind of like what Simon Gotch started with, but this is up another level. Like, dude comes out dressed to the nines.
How about Simon Gotch and Sin Cara exchanging blows and
fight.
catering?
Yeah, except that Sin Cara's, like, Hunico is known to be a real tough dude. Like, fucking legit tough. Like, fucking Haku tough.
Yeah, that's why Del Rio was like, oh, you're not the same guy. You can fuck me up. Never mind.
Yeah, because everything I read is that he, like, beat the snot out of him.
Dude's a thug, bro. Dude's a legit thug. I mean, like, probably a really nice guy, but it's like people have pasts. People have a place where they come from, and, like, that doesn't always go away. Just because you pretend to wrestle in the ring doesn't mean that some of them can't throw punches, man.
That's very true.
I mean, there's a handful of, like, fucking cruiserweights that I would take over a guy like Goldberg in a real fight. Didn't Jericho take him down?
Yeah.
Didn't fucking Joey Styles knock out JBL?
Yes.
Yeah, and when that happened, you ever heard not one other story about JBL hazing or bullying anybody ever since?
That is the greatest thing ever.
I think it was a combination of that and him busting Blue Meanie in the fucking face, and then that fucking...
yeah, the one-night stand.
And fucking the chair shot that Stevie Richards gave him, I think the next SmackDown, where, bro, it sounds like a fucking gun goes off.
I remember that.
That's my second favorite chair shot of all time that I just don't like watching because I know how real it was. Number one is when fucking Guerrero bladed himself versus JBL. And
my God, I think he bladed himself too deep because he bled like a pig.
He fainted in the back, spent 2 nights in the hospital while they replaced a couple liters of blood because he went so deep he cut into the muscle.
Ooh.
I'll never forget that. 10 seconds later, he's squirting out of his head. I won't watch it again, but it's my favorite chair shot of all time.
You remember that one, Rich?
Oh, fuck yeah. I remember when I was just sitting there and I was like, why is JBL in the main event? Why? And then when I heard that chest shot, I was like, damn, that shit was hard. Then when I look at Guerrero, and then it's like, I feel like I'm watching New Jack with Mass Transit.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
No, that shit was bad.
Yeah, it was really bad. The other thing I thought was interesting about the draft is I don't know if they're going to be together, but it makes me feel like Bray Wyatt has broke away from the family.
Yeah, I think Eric Rowan is going to be the one, by the way, who does the job on Sunday. We know this part.
Yeah.
And from there, it's just going to be like, I think what's going to end up happening is they're going to just keep rolling around, and eventually when Luke Harper comes back, that's when they're going to team up together, and then they'll have that feud with Bray Wyatt.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little bit hopeful, but I've gone from WrestleMania saying I was going to go 1 year being a hopeful wrestling fan instead of being a normal IWC know-it-all, and just try to see what happens and try to evaluate the year as a whole instead of week by week. So
I
I'm
hear you,
being
dude.
optimistic. I'm being optimistic.
The other thing that shocked me about SmackDown was Ambrose beating Rollins clean.
Well, yeah, because since SmackDown, in the eyes of many, got the short end of the stick with the draft, they had to make it look like they're superior to Raw, at least for this one moment.
To me, what I would do at Battleground is make Reigns take the fall to Ambrose to make him appear to be the greater of the Shield, because he's pinned both of them.
Right. No matter what happens at Battleground, this is the one thing that's for sure in that match. Roman Reigns is taking the pin. Whether it's Ambrose is keeping the belt or Rollins is getting it back, it's Reigns that's taking the 1, 2, 3.
What if Foley comes out and they both turn heel? Him and whatchamacallit?
Reigns.
Him and Reigns. They both.
Well, then now you've given me a reason that I really want to watch Roman Reigns on Raw, because I want to see somebody kick the shit out of him and not be there smiling and saying suffering succotash or some shit.
That's what I would do. I would have Foley come out, interfere. I would have Seth hurt and take out of the match early on, so it's one Raw and one SmackDown. At the finish of the match, I'd have Foley come out and screw Ambrose over, so that Raw, and that could be that could be his argument on Monday night. But he wanted to help Reigns, but Reigns turns full heel, sees Foley interfere, and takes advantage of it. Foley can always get away with saying, I was just trying to do what's best for Raw, maybe not turn full heel, or they could do the full heel turn for both, and I think that would give people a reason to watch Raw.
I was going to say it could work because Ambrose is using Foley's finisher now.
Right. So, and then it would be great also that if Roman Reigns turns heel, because then he'll come out the next night on Raw saying how it's the fans' fault that it's your fault that I've turned on you or whatever. And it'll be even funnier if he gets the part like, I even tried to do drugs to make bigger so you guys can like me more. And what did it get me? So
that would be hilarious. The other thing, who do you guys think is the mystery partner for Sasha?
I wanted to say Bayley, but it looks like that's not going to happen for right now because, spoiler for those of you who haven't read it, Bayley's getting her rematch in Brooklyn for the NXT title. So I think it's going to be a thing where it might be like Nia Jax or something. Because who else is there?
Or Naomi the Botch Fest.
Well, Naomi's on SmackDown now, so... well, then again, this is a inter-promotional thing, so why not? But, it would make the most sense for it to be Bayley, even if it's just for that one night or whatever, She's signed, but she's going to be on SmackDown for now. So, but like I said, I don't know, man.
The other thing that really annoyed me, just to bring this up, is how they gave Sasha Banks her first loss.
Yes. I was watching that with my friend Nick, the guy who produces the show for me.
Yeah.
Here at home. And I said, you see what just happened right there? That was Sasha Banks' first loss ever on the main roster. He was like, you sure? I was like, yes. First ever. And he was like, but to her? I was like, yep.
I couldn't agree more, but to plasticky melt face?
Yeah. Because they knew that remember when they had the match a week or so ago on Raw, that then Charlotte was like, oh, you got lucky today, but you're going to have to face her again on SmackDown? And I said, I swear to God, if they put Dana Brooke over on Sasha, even if it's a screwy finish with Charlotte getting involved, there's going to be a meltdown with the fans.
Yeah,
Luckily,
they were not happy.
Luckily, they didn't do that, but you know, what can you say? How about we haven't talked about this yet, but Roman Reigns is old news when it comes to failed drug tests, huh?
You ain't kidding.
It's like Roman what? No.
All right, hang on one second. Rygal just messaged me. His PC overheated. I got to call him back.
I was wondering where he went.
I checked it, and then I saw his call dropped, and I was like, that's odd. So I checked my messenger. Oh, he's saying Skype is updating, so I'll have to wait a second. But about the Lesnar thing, yeah, this is a big thing, and I read where they're not even going to suspend him now. WWE.
And how much of an ambiguous statement are you sending to the talent, the fans, your business partners, and investors about that? A guy that's juiced to the gills is not going to have a damn thing done to him. While all these other guys who go out there, I'm not saying that they're justified for using steroids at all for being full-time talent, but so basically what you're saying is, yeah, you could fail the wellness test, but if you wrestle like under 10 matches a year, we don't give a fuck.
And if you draw in big money, we don't care.
Exactly. Because if it were anybody, look, they just suspended Roman Reigns for what appears to be ADD medicine. The same thing they popped Adam Rose for. That's the rumor going around.
If you're not bipolar, that kind of medicine is basically like legal speed.
Okay.
It's like a party drug.
But here's my conspiracy theory. And this is just my conspiracy theory for fun, Joey.
Okay.
Vince McMahon was like, Brock, we got to do something. I want them to forget about Roman being a fucking dirty, test on the wellness program. Brock said, send me a check and some roids in the mail and we got a deal.
There you go.
I don't give a fuck what Dana White says. What are they going to do?
Yeah, my fucking computer decided to turn off.
That's
so Brock
happened to
is
me
like,
before in the middle of a live show, so I know how you feel.
Yeah, I forgot to turn my fan on. I have to have another fan blow on my computer because my internal fan, something happened to. It sucks balls.
Lance in the chat says, guys, I think I just got ADD.
From what?
Because we were talking about how Reigns got busted for potentially for Adderall. I said, well, if you don't have like bipolar disorder or whatever, that's basically like speed.
Well, it's uppers, yeah, to help you stay awake. I mean, it's like guys don't use it to get high. A lot of time they use it to stay awake. I got a friend of mine that when he drives, he'll take Adderall. I mean, I don't agree with it, but he doesn't do it to get high. He does it to stay awake when he has to drive long distances.
Well, that's understandable.
I mean, this is a guy who don't even drink. So, but he'll pop a couple Adderall when he got to take like when he got to drive long distances. So,
I just think, and me and Rich were just talking about this, that Lesnar has to be suspended because it sets a bad precedent.
This is a PR nightmare waiting to happen for WWE.
Yeah.
And I've said it 100 times, even when they did the first drug test. If you allow him to wrestle, okay, the Athletic Sports Commission, wherever you are, which will be New York for SummerSlam, does not recognize wrestling as a sport. Therefore, these guys don't need licenses to work. But the fact that you're just turning a blind eye just because it's Brock Lesnar, right? I hope that some people who have power there, like John Cena, say, yo, what the fuck is this? I've been here, the 14 years clean. Never been popped once, not even close to being popped once. And this fucking guy just comes back and you just let him do whatever the fuck he wants to?
Well, they're a publicly traded company and they have this wellness policy. So if he's failing drug tests, WWE is going to have to. I mean, he popped the drug test. They're a publicly traded company. There's things that they have to maintain, and part of that was drug testing their
Lance brings up an interesting point in the chat. He says now that Lesnar is tested dirty, maybe WWE can get out of his new deal.
They're not going to do that. Because, Vince likes the whole controversy thing or whatever. But I think, like it could be a thing where that they could get out of his deal, but I don't think they will. Because they see a bigger picture clearly that this guy, no matter what, is still one of their top draws.
Absolutely.
And to be honest with you, I'm over it now. Like, Lesnar does nothing for me.
Yeah.
Randy Orton to do with this whole Randy Orton thing now. He popped right after they announced it.
Randy Orton is going to take 57 German suplexes and one F5, and the show's over, folks. There you go.
See, this is my feeling that Lesnar should lay down for him.
I thought that was going to be his punishment for taking the UFC fight.
Yeah, so now it's like it makes it even worse with the drug test thing. So, that's what I would do. I'd make him lay down.
Oh, now more so than ever. Why would you return Orton to feed him to Lesnar?
Plus, the other thing that's interesting, Heyman's contract has run out with WWE.
And they have not agreed on a new deal.
Nope, because that's why they just announced Brock Lesnar at the draft, Brock Lesnar, and not with Paul Heyman.
Yeah, with no Paul Heyman graphic in the background. Yep. Well, all I can say is this. If Lesnar's going to lay down, shame on WWE for giving it to somebody like Randy Orton. And I'm not saying that because, we all hate him because he's boring. It's why didn't you give that to a guy that deserves it like Cesaro?
Yeah, like someone that it could mean something to.
Right, because what does beating Brock Lesnar do for Randy Orton now? Randy, if this was Randy Orton 2003, then that'd be a different story, but it's not.
It's funny you bring up Cesaro. Did you hear the shoot promo / interview he did on the network after he got drafted?
Yep, and then I saw like a graphic of a shovel behind him for some reason. So, yeah. And when he said I would have preferred to go to SmackDown, I was like, yep, there it goes.
Well, it's a shame because he was really, really hot when he came back, and now it's just like, meh.
Yeah, they cooled his jets real quick. And he would have made sense on SmackDown. Why was he not drafted to SmackDown? I don't know. But that would have been perfect for... God. You know what's funny? We talked about earlier who the people were selected before whomever.
Uh-huh.
Baron Corbin was selected before Kevin Owens. And a couple of other bigger, better wrestlers than himself. And I'm like, how is this a thing? And they built up the whole Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Like, this is their last fight. So I'm like, okay, they're going to split them up.
Nope.
No, they're not. So it's like, okay, their last match, and then what?
It almost feels like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, guys, that they're going to try and drag another match out of them for SummerSlam.
Well, I hope that this is like a cage match or
exploding ring match where one of them dies so we don't ever have to see him fight again.
Loser gets, there you go. Loser is off of Raw. And then they'll show up on SmackDown. There you go. That's how you fix it.
Let KO package pile drive him again on a ladder.
It's off the fucking building.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn's dead. Welcome back, El Generico.
I call him Sammy the taxi cab driver.
Yeah.
Because they got him wearing that ridiculous outfit, and I'm just like, wow. I miss El Generico.
I like the hat though. I'm a very big fan of those hats. My dad.
I call him what Seth Rogen would look like after DDP yoga.
That's a good one. Oh shit. But are you guys excited for SummerSlam? Because both of you are going, right?
Yes.
As of right now, I might be.
I
Well,
know, Rygal, you're going to NXT and SummerSlam, so lucky you.
lucky guy.
Yeah.
And he probably might see Nakamura win his first ever championship in the United States.
Yep, that's what I keep saying.
That's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, that's what I've been calling since when Balor went down to Joe in the cage, and Nakamura beat Aries, which, a blind man could have seen that happening. I was like, yeah, they're going to build up to Nakamura versus Joe. And then some people were like, no, this Wednesday on NXT, when he confronts Finn Balor, that's going to be the match that happens at TakeOver, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's June, so that's kind of like 2 months of anticipation for one match. WWE doesn't do that anymore.
Plus, it was like, if they did that, who was Joe going to fight?
Exactly. So,
because I've been looking at the NXT live shows, and they have like maybe 3 guys that are on television. Like last night, they had like 3 guys, I think.
Well, there you go.
The rest are just guys that haven't made their debuts yet
Right.
on TV.
I mean, we'll see what happens. But for the people out there who were upset that there was no Samoa Joe or Austin Aries or Bayley or Nakamura drafted to either show, you got to remember, they can't just gut NXT just like that and just say, oh, yeah, the title, whatever, we'll hold it up. We'll put it up in a match between No Way Jose and Cien Almas or something.
Bro, I was about to say, like, what are you talking about? They can't take everybody away from NXT. They have fucking No Way Jose and CN.
Yeah.
Well, the future is bright, and, if he wasn't brought up, I'm pretty sure they would have put the strap on Mojo Rawley, because I can't even continue that with a straight face.
Nope. Future NXT champion.
They want No Way Jose to be their big Latin star.
And of course...
Isn't that what they wanted with the travel agents? I mean...
Yep.
Exactly.
Every stereotype that they could put out there for a Spanish person. I'm waiting for the cartel leader from Colombia to come out already.
I'm waiting for the New York City bodega owner.
Yep. Who works for the cartel guy from the Colombia.
No, Rude was not drafted, Lance.
Nope.
Just Joel. That's his name, Joel.
Well, they had they had the Spanish gang with Los Boricuas.
Oh, I know.
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah.
All I know is future NXT champion is, what's the goon that won Tough Enough, the Yeti guy? There you go.
Oh, no.
Whatever. There you go. He's going to defeat ZZ for the championship.
Oh, man. I could never stand that guy.
You heard?
Get out of here.
ZZ and Josh will be going for the NXT title.
Good God.
At NXT TakeOver, Kill Me. That should be the name of that show.
And now they signed that Patrick Clark.
Oh, yeah, they signed him a while ago.
Yes, and he's been using a Make America Great Again gimmick.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because he posted like a bunch of like Donald Trump stuff on like Twitter.
Wow.
He's actually been doing jobs. He may have actually not. Wasn't he on this week's NXT? I didn't see it yet, but I
haven't seen it yet.
I think he's out this week on NXT.
All I know is that every time I read an NXT live thing where he's featured, it's usually him doing a job.
Yeah.
But that actually says something, though. It means that he can put guys over. Because, a lot of people don't realize, if you're employed and you're a job guy, that just basically means you're very good at making the other person look good.
And he was pretty good in Maryland Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
I never watched him.
Is Roderick Strong on his way to NXT now?
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's what I keep hearing.
Bro, but, okay. Hypothetically, what happens in 5 years when there is no more indie talent?
That's true.
Because, yeah, it's great now. I mean, boom, boom, boom. But, like, you're taking decades of experience off the indie market all at once. You're not going to replenish those followings that quickly.
Well, Ryan, the clear answer is they're going to have, you know how they have Master Chef from different countries? They're going to have Tough Enough from different countries. Tough Enough India, Tough Enough Spain, and all that other good stuff.
Well, why can't they do Tough Enough with actual wrestlers?
Well, it's funny because the last Tough Enough that they did do with actual wrestlers, the guys who all ended up losing were the great wrestlers. Like, what's his name? That's on Lucha Underground, Marty the Moth. Should have been the winner, but he got injured.
Is that... there's also the other guy, the guy who... I don't remember his name on the show, because I haven't watched a shit ton of Lucha Underground. He looks like the video game biker guy. He wears the black mask and he has the long beard.
Oh, Son of Havoc.
That is M-Dog 20.
Yeah.
He was on Tough Enough as well.
Yes.
Yeah, the one with Stone Cold.
Yes, right. Matt whatever.
Right.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, and look.
He's doing great under a fucking hood.
Yep. You could have had him right now in NXT with him in the tag team with Eric Young.
Are you familiar at all with AAA or CMLL?
A little bit.
Well, there's a guy who wrestles there, Bam Bam. That's my foreman's cousin.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
My foreman's not a nice guy. Like, he's a real fucking prick. But, no, bro, like, off air, I could kind of explain some of the thing, and you'll wonder, like, how I haven't knocked his teeth down his throat yet.
You told us a couple stories one time off air.
Oh, bro, it got worse. But,
boy.
The long and short of it is, we were talking one day, and he's like, "Oh, you like wrestling?" And I immediately expected to get made fun of. Because, that's what everybody does, let alone a fucking bully. So he starts telling me about his cousin. So, like, we talk about CMLL and AAA, and it's like, he was fucking surprised that a gringo from New York knew so much about both companies. But he's like, "But you don't know who my cousin is." I was like, "Bro, I have no fucking idea who your cousin is." I was like, "I know the midgets better than I know the luchadors over there."
That's funny.
Well, a report going out today was, according to Teddy Long, if you want to believe him, Shelton Benjamin and MVP are on their way back to WWE.
I could give two fucks about MVP.
I don't know. It just depends on what they do with him. If they bring him back same MVP, I don't like him. If they give me the New Japan MVP, I'll be very happy.
No, you're going to get the same exact MVP.
I know.
Nope.
I love Shelton Benjamin. The dude can work, man.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, they're coming back as named job guys.
Yeah.
That's it. The young guys.
Yeah. Well, that's. You mean a great match right off the bat? Benjamin versus Cruz.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about doing anything with Cruz, who was drafted after I'm surprised Eva Marie was picked after him. The way that they're treating this poor guy. So.
But here's my problem. You bring back Shelton Benjamin to be an enhancement guy.
Mm-hmm.
He starts losing.
Right.
Does it really matter that you're beating Shelton Benjamin anymore? Because now you're beating an old Shelton Benjamin who just loses all the time.
Well, what the point I was trying to make was that should be like one of the first matches Shelton Benjamin has. We don't. If you're going to put over Apollo Crews over Shelton Benjamin, then you might as well just let him be Heath Slater while Slater's trying to look for work.
Right, I know exactly what you mean.
Oh yeah, no. It's why I didn't have a problem with Jericho going over at Mania over AJ, because Jericho put fucking Fandango over at the Mania I was at in New York. Yeah, right. He's willing to put guys over. Eventually, it gets to the point that everybody expects guys to go over on Jericho, so Jericho's name doesn't hold that same value anymore.
Exactly.
Jericho had to win more than AJ had to win, because the next month AJ had a world title shot. Jericho has a WrestleMania win. And
the next night on Raw, he pinned Jericho to get that world title shot. Yeah. So there you go.
Exactly. But you know what? I don't remember that. I don't remember. All I remember is that Jericho won.
Oh, that's the Men in Black telling me to forget it. Never mind. I forgot.
No, it's just, I think it's a good thing that, you can't always have the guys coming back to enhance guys always lose the big matches. Sometimes the guy they're putting over has to lose so that when they do win, it means that much more.
Right.
And unfortunately, they don't do this anymore.
No.
That's why you just need local enhancement guys.
Absolutely. And then it gives local guys a shot, an opportunity to work, and it opens up a professional door to possible further stuff.
Yeah, their career in other places.
How about this for...
Go ahead, Ryan. I'm sorry.
All right. This is just as of news in the last couple of days. If it is true that Brian Myers is coming back, do you think that would mean anything for his WrestlePro guys to be a feeder school, kind of like Evolve is?
That's what I was just thinking. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Because when I first saw that, I was like, because I always think of the school, I think of Pat Buck. Because I know Pat. I know Pat much better than I know Brian Myers. Brian Myers doesn't know I exist. When I heard that, I was like, oh shit, what does that mean for WrestlePro? Then I realized it's not WrestlePro, it's Creative Pro. It is Brian Myers' school. So I'm hoping big things for them.
That'd be awesome.
Even if it's just for NXT, just to get them on TV, like I'd be so happy for those guys.
Right.
Guys that I've known for a long time.
Yeah, because that opens a door for them.
Yeah.
And the person I'd be happiest for is fucking Pat.
Right. Like for example, Matt McIntosh, who was on the show, he could start up NXT, and who knows, 2-3 years down the road, he's in the Cruiserweight division on Raw or whatever on SmackDown, if there's even still 2 separate shows at that point.
And then we let him call in and shoot the shit. We don't give him an interview, we just let him talk.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's funny you mention that because the one kid I had on, Kurt Robinson from CZW, he, within the last, I'll say 2 or 3 weeks, we had talked, and he said he had worked out with Ring of Honor. And because they had Cheeseburger at one of their shows like 2 weeks ago.
Right, you told me.
So
nice.
Because he had tweeted it out, like thanking them for whatever they showed him and all like the knowledge he got. So I was like, I wonder what that's about.
Nice. Well, WWE right now, I think, is going to get a lot of talent. You know why? Because any day now, TNA is going to close down. Any day now, and I'm not wishing that on TNA. But at this rate, you know how people were like, oh, why would you want to see TNA close down? That's a good thing for us to have variety of wrestling, right? Well, guess what? WWE was like, well, fuck you. We're going to give you the variety of wrestling all on our programming. Yes. You want cruiserweights? You got cruiserweights. You want to see indie guys that used to be wrestling someplace else? It's called NXT. And two separate shows.
Yeah, if you want some entertainment, you can watch us Monday. If you want entertaining wrestling, watch us Tuesday. You want really good wrestling, watch us
Wednesday.
Wednesday for 2
From
hours.
8 to 10.
It's funny you guys talk about that because, Rich, you had mentioned about the Undertaker thing.
Right.
For people that never saw Kota Ibushi wrestle, they're like, oh, he stole the Undertaker's move.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, this is some stuff, like, I wish I could get, like, everybody in our wrestling groups together, like, if I can message everybody who hasn't seen Ibushi before, and just send them the video of him putting on a clinic with a blow-up doll.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
To which he gives himself multiple Canadian destroyers in a row.
Yep.
Makes a fucking blow-up doll look like $1 million.
Yep.
I can't wait to see him and, crap, I forget who it is he was wrestling in the second round, but it was somebody really good. It might have been Cedric Alexander.
I think so. And the best part for me, by the way, right now with the Ibushi versus the blow up doll, was when he was on the outside of the ring and one of the guys who was there took the blow up doll and like threw it way up in the air. And Ibushi waited there until it fell on him, and then acted like it was like a real human being that fell on top of him.
Yeah.
You realize, because I have it on my screen now, from the start of it to the end of it is 29:31.
Wow.
That's crazy. And then,
Right?
I think about it is, this week on the CWC they had, what the hell is the other Japanese guy's name? I'm drawing a blank. Tunzawa, or however you say it.
Long?
Oh, Akira Tozawa.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was on, so that's the first that a mainstream audience has probably seen him.
Yeah. It was the first time I saw the one that Rich brought up, Ho Ho Lun, because he's from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Yes. And he beat
Daivari brother.
Oh yeah. He beat what the hell is that guy's first name? Anyway,
he beat his first name, but I remember his Daivari's brother.
Arya, I think his name is Arya Daivari, with like one little slow, crappy German suplex. I was like, really? That's it? Like, the German suplex, if you watch it back, had like real no impact. I'm like, dude, kick the fuck out. Like, seriously.
It reminded me of like one of the old like New Japan guys doing a German.
Right. It's like, dude, did you not know it's WWE? Brock Lesnar has totally overexposed that fucking move already.
Like, I've told some of my friends that don't follow like the cruiserweights or follow like outside of the WWE box. I was like, you gotta sit down and fucking watch this. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That fucking Mustafa Ali shit, bro.
What's that?
That Mustafa Ali, and I don't want to say it.
You gotta go watch that, Rich. It's nuts.
Yeah, because I don't want to ruin what kind of move it was, bro. But it was the coolest. It was so cool, bro.
No, as soon as we're done here, I'm gonna sit down with my dinner and I'm gonna check it out because I've been meaning to. It's just that yesterday was my wife's birthday and then we're setting up for like a party for tomorrow. So, like, I finished, like, preparing salads and stuff, like, cold salads, like, literally 60 seconds before you sent me a message, Joey, saying, I'm going to call you. I was like, thank fucking God. So, I'm definitely going to check it out as soon as we're done.
What I usually do is, because I go to wrestling at CZW's training school on Wednesday nights, I will take my son, at least for now, because he has, like, a summer thing at school.
Right.
I'll take him to school, and then I'll just kick back, relax, and watch that in the morning.
Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out.
That's what I usually do. But, alright, everybody, we're going to get out of here for tonight. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good shit, and we will see you next time. Have a good night, everybody.
Adios.